Then a ham sandwich.
Bro, it's 2 in the morning, fell asleep and I'm yawning. Waking up on the lawn, I'm seeing blue and orange. People follow me to school and copy me until I stop and put my music on. I'm just crawling like a zombie, gnawing on a Nazi, probably in his uniform. Born identity, homie, you've been warned. My brain is soaring like
I was like, oh Lord. So Stranger Things themed question. Okay, you gotta give me some time. You gotta give me some time for that one. Hold on. Okay, because I got a good one that I got one on the top of my head that I know I want to ask, but multitasking or whatnot. Give me a second. Where is the... Okay, there's this. Yeah, we back, y'all. We back, y'all. Stranger Things. Okay, hold on. Copy and paste this over. Copy and paste it. Copy and paste it. Copy and... All right, so we should have that now. Come over here and check this out. Let me see. I'm trying to see something real quick. All right, here's a question. In season 3 of Stranger Things, there's a scene where Dustin, Steve, Erica, and Robin hide in a movie theater. What movie is playing in that theater that they're hiding in? It's not only a classic, but one of my favorites of all time in terms of earlier movie franchises before like Marvel movies and stuff like that came out. What movie and what movie was playing in the theater that they hid in? And I made a song related to Stranger Things. That's what's up. I would love to hear that. Are you guys still looking? You guys still looking for the what the fines? What the fines, man? You got it. You got it. And what is your submission called again? They beat y'all to it.
I think I've taken too many drugs and I'm in another universe and I was trying to get all alone and I know that I don't care. Please leave me alone, everybody leave me there. Cause I'm
Alright, so best for who? Let's see what Shub right about here. Let us know.
It's a sad, sad one music. Ooh, corrected, faulted me for having no manners. Should be thanking the Lord, even with all my struggles, was never a dancer. My whole life changed the moment I knew, in the moment I had her. But you want to take her away from me. I cannot believe what I'm dealing with on the daily basis. I don't get it, why do you keep on hurting me, knowing I'm dying, that I can't even see my own little girl. It's killing me, you know I'm really trying to keep telling the whole fucking world that I am nothing, that I'm a loser, and that you don't love me. I do not know why. Do you only wanna think about yourself when you know that you were my whole world? Oh, mama, I really hope you hear this song one day. How you look back when I'm singing it on the stage. And my little girl gonna hear the sound, wondering why mom wasn't around. And this is the reason, there is no reason other than this right here. Promises this is gonna be my time, no matter the year. I don't got a time on it, I promise my mind's with it, and I gonna grind with it. How was I for split decisions? How are you still here, but you feel so gone? Mama, I've been reaching out, but you just hold on. Got my baby in the middle like a line you won't cross. I'm missing you, but I'm the only one you treat like I'm lost. And you're holding my child like a memory I can't touch. I miss you, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you too much. And I don't understand why you rather choose distance instead of our love. And I'm breaking while you look at me like I'm not enough. And this is why I never understand why you say you keep hurting me, when you know all I wanna see is my little girl. But I guess the conclusion and the reality is you did it, you did it, you did it to me. You're doing it now. You did it, you did it, you did it, you did it. You're doing it now. You did it, you did it, you did it, you did it. You're doing it now. You're doing it now. You're staying away from your own child. That's a little one.
Wow.
Loudest drone. Loudest drone.
Is it like that times where you don't even know what you won't even know, but I want you know?
All right. So first and foremost, big salute. I think you did an amazing job just in terms of the like performance that we were able to hear with that song, right? You know, your voice just sounds natural. You have a lot of power within it, and there are some artists that are, you know, such as yourselves, who are really able to make it sound easy to get in there and sing, which is we know it's not everybody can sing. They can sing along with you, they can, you know, that kind of hold their own, you know, somewhat, but when you have that just natural vibrato, when you can get in there with certain tones and you know, you don't crack, you know, under pressure, it means a lot. When it comes to R&B, I like slow jams the most, because these are the songs that test you. We have to be able to hear your songs and feel some type of emotion as if you wrote the song for us. And outside of that, I talked earlier about how some artists, or some people, when we listen to these songs, we listen to them from different perspectives. Sometimes we imagine it's the artist singing to us. Other times we imagine it's the soundtrack to how we and somebody else might feel about us, or something like that. And vice versa, you know, across the board. But overall, like, you know, there are decent things within there. I did feel like the only critique that I have is that it needs a mix, right, just to sound more professional, like it's ready for, you know, radio consumption. being on vinyl and just in stores and stuff like that. I think I can definitely hear the potential, the talent within there. And all it ever takes is you guys at least being good enough for people to want to hear more. And you know, you have that, so keep it up, man. And it was a nice sort of callback, right? If I'm not mistaken, it was almost like a remix. When you have callbacks, when you basically pay homage to other songs, whether it's their words, their melodies, and different things like that. It's dope when you can do it while also bringing it into your direction, because it's a different you know, production. And then those that know and like the song, like they're gonna, like, that's how you do it. That's how you do it, to where they can still feel like they love that you know, paid homage to them within there. So many ways.
Let me see. And you said it was freestyle too? Not bad, not bad. Honestly, not bad for a freestyle within there. Then Hot Fire.
So even, are you able to go back and do it again? Are you able to get a, you know, proper mix or whatnot? If it's the mix itself, which means like whatever you recorded in is a certain way, then just making sure to either re-record with a different mic, or if it's just the mix, like the actual mix. I think I misspoke with the first half or whatnot. If it's the mic and the vocals themselves, then re-recording it is going to be a plan that I would, you know, put in place. And then if it's just going back into the mix, like different people will be able to do certain things, man. And I almost wish Carver was in the building or whatnot. Liquid music group or whatnot. He always kind of loves to link up with the R&B talent and you know, help push their stuff forward a little bit more or whatnot. He manages, you know, quite a few, and they're really talented. Like, I would recommend you making songs with them and everything. Yeah, we're back, y'all. We're back. Rob, what up, dog? And he said, sorry, chat wasn't working on my end. Now it is. Yeah, so something had happened and it just kind of randomly died at some point, and then I didn't notice for a bit, but y'all should be back now. So
good to see y'all there. And appreciate you as well. I just did it yesterday, but got really emotional and had to pause.
Wow, that's a good thing though. It says not mix and master. Okay. I will recommend that you guys record every session. Well, I mean, that might be a bit much, but if you attempt to try to record every session that you have, right? Just visually, not just like, obviously you're gonna be recording, so but record visuals so people can see just the overall work that you do, right? I'm trying to remind artists in this generation where like there's a lot of AI and stuff. You know, we really do value the talent that a real person has. Like when you have the ability to sing, when you have the ability to write your own songs, to often get in there and give a great performance. We want to champion artists like you and really promote you a lot more to the world, because when and if there's a song like yours that is just AI, it has a lack of soul. It has a lack of feeling. Like every word that we hear it say, we barely can believe, because we know that it doesn't think anything. It is an AI, right? But when it's a human, when you're getting in there and saying words, they're coming from a real place. And when there are others who are writing songs for you, like at the very least, I know you guys aren't going to sing songs that you don't believe in. right? People can't just write you anything and it, you know, even if it sounds like a hit song, but the words just don't match up with what you believe in and how you think, you know, like it'll always come back to you in that case, right? So you guys have the opportunities to work with real people and touch the listeners in the same way that a lot of us were when we grew up and there was only like one choice of kind of taking in music, right? I talked earlier about how like we couldn't just type in what we wanted to hear and hear it. We had to wait for it to come on the radio. We had to wait till the album drops so we can actually buy it or buy the single and things like that. So these days, now it's like everybody feels like they just want everything as fast as possible. It's almost too fast, but with that we have to adjust with how we market our music. How can we have people see us as the most professional this era without trying to half-ass people? The short songs I think aren't gonna cut it anymore because it just feels like you guys admitted at times that like you make short songs for the replay value because you want people to play it again or whatnot. But people had started to catch on and they felt like you're not even giving them enough actual song. Like they can't play that on the radio, for example, right? So you haven't gotten to my song yet? Nope, not yet. I've been looking at. Nope. You all good? You all good? Shout out to Rob with the Door Squad. And you in there. Let me make sure we don't have a skip so we can continue. Let me see. Either way, good job. Let's see where we are at. That was technically a skip, so I'm gonna go back into 1 minute mode. 1 minute mode activate.
1 minute mode has been activated as requested, Mr. Dorky Sir.
Alright, now you should be able to see the timer on the screen. There he goes. So there's a timer that plays in a little TV section.
I'm out of it, young nigga, been through a lot of shit. Been through that shit, let chopper spit. I'm on the block, he block a bitch. I ain't got time for hoes, I never hesitate to block a bitch. And 3 with all my woes, you know I'm chillin' with my shotters, bitch. Heart broke, lost so many niggas, so my heart cold. I done been through way too much, I'm hurt and got a dark soul. Trauma in my head, it got me fucked up. Trying to keep my chin up, but my heart low. No, I wasn't lying when I told you that I needed you. It kinda makes me sad because I love you, but can't be with you. That nigga, he don't love you how I did. That nigga, he don't see what I had seen in you. I seen the way you love it, makes me wonder what I mean to you. Fuck it, guess it's nothing in the whip, I'm dodging dozens. We ride with glass, equipped with burns. You better duck, don't lose your nugget. Brody lethal in the corner, pass it out to get a bucket. White boy shooter, Kyle Corbett, he gon' bust it like it's nothing. I been fooling.
I had almost went past the freaking time. So this one wasn't necessarily bad or whatnot, right? It has a good overall feeling to it when it comes to the production. Feels like a little bit of a live music something. A live music vibe is like often in between songs about that pain, that struggle, just the things that you've been through, the pursuit of getting out of the mud and sort of getting in there. Those that you've lost, all that kind of stuff. And it feels like obviously there's more that can be done there. We weren't able to listen to the full song, but I would only assume like what I would want out of this song is for you to at some point hit a higher octave, right? We hear you in the double, but we need to hear you know what I mean? Like I know I didn't say words, but you guys get the point.
Bro, it's 2 in the morning, fell asleep and I'm yawning. Waking up on the lawn, I'm seeing blue and orange. People follow me to school and copy me until I stopped and put my music on. I'm just crawling like a zombie, gnawing on a Nazi, probably in his uniform. Born identity, homie, you've been warned. My brain is soaring like a unicorn.
Oh man, you know what I'm saying? So it feels like it would have hopefully went into something like that. I can only hope, right? So if the pursuit to you know, to want to see, you know, there's some potential there. However, if it were to keep going and it doesn't have that feeling, always know that, like, if you're in the lower tones more than higher ones, people are going to perceive you as monotone, right? Which is just an artist who sounds like they have no emotion. They really have just no, they may be, you know, depressed, and so there's no confidence within what they're doing, and that lack of confidence will affect how people hear the record. You know, it just depends on how you want to be perceived. All right, let's go back in the line. We're trying to we have a Spotify coming up right now. Let me see if I still have my Spotify open, or if I have to open up something new for it.
How you guys doing? What up, Gibbs?
And then South, did you send us? You said, "Damn, I missed a skip." Like, you made me think you sent a skip. No, if you didn't send one, then you did not miss it or whatnot. We got Doppero Zeet with Alone Again. Again, we are still in 1 minute mode, so prepare yourselves. As soon as this one plays, I can jump into that. I don't want to have to close it. Come on. You got this, man. You got this. Can I click on maybe? Never mind.
Yo, Halo, you made this shit?
I made it. I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do, but you said your whole song and you know that I played it all of the time when I know that I want to be telling you that I'm up in an arcade, and I don't know what the heck I'm gonna say, but you know what, I'm over here.
It's been a while and I'm saying I'm alone again. Look at the mirror, there's a man, he wants it all to end. Been excluded for a while, only he was there to fend. I can't wait for the day that the world's gonna end. Yeah, it's been many months since I last saw myself. Roaming in different creature, robbing, screaming for some help. Is here rotting inside my room, balls and plates are starting to mold. Walking love for so long, and I think I'm getting too old. Broken glass, broken bones, cut right through my soul. Undertaking my goals, think I'm freeze inside this cold. I'm in my house but not at home. Girlfriends but I'm alone, drowning inside my sorrows. Wonder what tomorrow holds. See, I don't know if I'm ever gonna make it out, but if I do, I'm the only one who take me there. Hoping for someone to come and save me from this grave that's done. But for now, I must sit alone inside this rotten grave. It's been a while and I'm saying I'm alone again. Look at the mirror, there's a man, he wants it all to end. Been excluded for a while, only he was there to fend. I can't wait for the day.
All right, that is 1 minute. Give y'all thoughts on that right there. 1 to 10, and you know, keep up with nothing. I think I like the beat a lot more than what you're doing to the beat. I appreciate the content. I appreciate anytime you guys are real enough to basically talk about your lives and you know what you've been through. Like, you're smart, because music is our therapy. It is another way to really make sense of things, to get our anger, our frustration, our pain, our hunger, our creativity really, you know, off to the races. And with a beat like that, man, I'm a fan of rock and alternative stuff, so something like that you would almost normally hear like a Paramore or something on, right? I love the guitar riffs and and things, you know, played by the guitarist of Paramore, and anything that we would be able to hear artists like that, or like a Snow Patrol or something. It's always decent, but I feel like it's lacking some of those elements, right? So maybe mixed with what you want to say, something like that would be dope. So it should be like half and half, you know, either a more rock centric kind of version of yourself. I think you need to up the level of energy, maybe the aggression in certain parts. You could start off very depressed, but I want the energy to grow as it takes time. Or you can start off with more energy and then let the energy die down by the end, and sort of have something creative there. There's potential. Do I feel like it belongs right now on Spotify? Probably not. Like, I think you guys move backwards when you do stuff like that, because you don't, once you put it on all platforms, some of you guys never feel like going back. You feel like, well, it's released now, so there's nothing I can do. But like, no, like, this is your reputation on the line. Every record that you put out has to be something top notch to represent you well. You know, if just one of your song comes on in some playlist, if it just happens to be one that wasn't really well, you know, received or performed or something like that, like, people aren't really gonna pay it the right amount of mind. They're just going to either skip to the next song. They'll feel like there's really nothing there that immediately makes them want to do a feature with you, right? And I feel like we're always in between, trying to figure out how can we get to that place, how can we get to a point where people not only want to do a feature with us, but like if we actually have to say a price that they're not gonna roll our eyes. Not everybody should be charging for features, and then not everybody we'll just leave it at that. Not everybody should be charging for features, but you do the right job, man. All right, Interface. What do you think about your mama? I'm gonna just keep question marks for the names for now. 1, 2, 3, go! Seconds. All right, that is 1 minute. Again, I want to remind y'all we are in 1 minute mode right now. Each song will have that timer up. It'll be played to that minute point. We stop it, review it, and just really let you know where your record, you know, sits at, right? Where you don't want your record to sit at is at a place where, yes, we, like, it's trash, but we forcefully have to play the whole song for that minute. And you just went too crazy with things on the, overall mix or whatnot, right? And that'll let you know just like how much needs to be done, because you at least want to know that people want to hear your song for a minute or more, right? And with this, I felt like it was more of a production based kind of situation, right? Some producers are I'm just the beat to an artist's song, and other ones are like, no, I'm the artist, and the artist that happens to be within the beat is a part of the production, more or less, right? So you hear the like, like, it doesn't feel like, oh, featuring so and so. No, she's a part of the production in the way where you know, it kind of comes to life in a certain way. There's an aura that goes on onto that. I could see visuals right along with it, and I feel like you guys are all something that can use those visuals, right? Like producers, make videos of you making the beat, make videos of just something where if you are the main draw and there has to be a music video, like what are you gonna do for that? I literally just watched one in VR where you know, and I think they've been doing that kind of stuff a lot more, where they have like the screen in the back, right? And it's almost 3D to where it looks like if there's a big giant or a statue that comes to life or something like that, and then it's like messing with the lasers and the lights and all this stuff in the audience. And they were kind of doing that with it. It looked so cool in VR, and it was synced to the music as well. So those are things that you could do straight up as like a music video as well, if you're able to kind of build a little bit of a story behind it. With this one, it almost feels like a like I want to say cyberpunk a little bit. If you think about like a cyberpunk-esque sort of like vibe, but just like commercial. Maybe there's a new DLC pack, you know, where it takes a place with something else or whatnot. But what do you guys freaking think or whatnot? Give your thoughts. Give your thoughts. We're jumping back in that line up right now. We're in the 1 minute mode.
1 minute mode has been activated as requested, Mr. Dorky Sir.
Getting on my nerve. You know what I'm saying? And what up T? Let me see. Let me see how much we have remaining in the lineup right now.
Gold frames on my face, feeling heaven sent. Bass knocking like the choir when the blessings hit. I ain't talking too much, I just let it vent. Money talk, conversation sound like evidence. Stepped in the room like I wrote the blueprint. Pray over wins, every loss was a new print. Hustle too loud, neighbors think it's a news clip. Double my worth, watch it flip like a shoe ship. Mama said, boy, all that gold don't make a king. But I shine, could've struggled, got me polishing. Mind on the meal, ain't no time for the gossiping. Big God energy, horror astonishing. Flow like the south, but my mind on the throne. Got the choir in the back while I'm vibing alone. Manifesting every dream like I dialed up the phone. Now the world want a piece like I carved out of stone. We came from pain, but we turned it into gold, yeah. Raised from the dirt, now the story getting told, yeah. Voices in the sky saying, boy, you chosen. Ice in the veins, but my heart stay golden. God got a wheel, I just ride like a king, yeah. City on my back, but it feel like a ring, yeah. Blessings too heavy, watch the table start folding. Still standing tall with the trophies on. I'm the type to turn a setback to a big flex. Turn the studio to church choir in the mix, yeah. Say I'm too bold, cause the truth make them feel.
I hate when I do that, man. Look, if I go past the 1 minute, then I have to give out a free skip to the chat. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Cause I'll be getting sidetracked like a mofo, right? Essentially, this felt like a decent track, but the one thing that I can't get over anytime I hear what sounds like AI elements, man, like I'm never gonna be able to get around that. If I hear it, I hear it. I can't unhear it. Some people don't know what to look for when it comes to those. I'm not one of those people. I can hear it, whether it's a beat replacement or the artist is not real or something like that, right? And we always end up getting into a full-on conversation about like why we have such a disdain for AI, right? It's mainly that we can't see the work. We don't know whether or not you've just told it, make a record in this style talking about this, enter, and you know, very minimal work, and then suddenly it creating a hit song is not as impressive. It's fun to see what it's gonna come up with, but it doesn't then become something that you want to replace artists that we love on the radio or out there in the zeitgeist. I would still much rather have a real artist that we're hearing on the song, because then we can, I would love to do a collab, right? I would love to have you on a song. And the problem with AI records, especially if you're not using your own voice, if you're not literally programming your own voice into the situation, quite literally, every person who's working with AI, there's a minimal amount of voices with you to work with, right? So hundreds of artists or AI artists are going to be out there sounding the same. I know this because I've heard countless records from you guys where I keep feeling like I'm hearing the same, like 1 to 5 artists, right? If it's a female singer or rapper, it sounds a certain way. If it's a male if it's a male singer or rapper, it sounds a certain way. The genres that it changes between alternative or heavy metal or country or whatever, like, we know what these things are sounding like. There has to be a lot more variation, but even with that, I'm still always going to come to the conclusion of, like, use a real artist, because that's the only way we're going to get a true live performance one-to-one from what we're hearing on the track to for real in real life. We hear a song, we like it, we connect with it, we want to meet the artist, we want to go see them live, we want to see an interview with them. If we don't get to do that, like, everything you're doing is almost like a waste of time. And I feel like, if anything, like, AI is like the lazy man's tool for whatever business you guys are trying to run, right? If you really don't like to work, and in music, it never has felt like work. If you love it, it should never feel like work to the point where you don't want to come up with the melody by yourself or figure out how to sample something by yourself. Taking drums and actually piecing them together yourself, and figuring out how you want the overall melodies to sound, like, that stuff should be fun. So for those of us who kind of have that dislike, it's because we don't want you guys to miss out on those opportunities, on the opportunities of working with a real artist in the studio that can inspire you to truly know that you have a skill to write for real. You cannot call yourself a writer or a songwriter if you've basically only taken your poems and then put those into AI and then it creates a song. It doesn't work like that. You don't suddenly now know how to write a hit song and you can go to the studio and then, like, work with all the big art. Like, it doesn't work like that. You have to develop the actual skill so that in any element, let's say electricity just out the door one day, and so you don't have access to electronic devices, all we can do is really listen to each other, like, for real. We have to really perform. We have to get pianos and learn how to play that. We have to learn how to play guitar, and the drums, anything that you can actually pick up and play without needing a speaker to put it out there. And yes, we have generators and all that good stuff. We can bring in power every now and then, but what I like is when you can be in those kind of workshops with other people and know that the talent that you have in your head is enough for you to be able to bring those ideas forward. Like, oh, what if you play it like this, and then you kind of like have at least that melody in your head that you want to do. But a lot of times, like, people barely have that, and they immediately jump to AI to speed up their thought process. But you're not growing. You know, it's the equivalent to using cheats in a game that you're supposed to upgrade over time. If you already use the cheats, you've learned nothing, right? Anyways, let's go back into the lineup, as we like to say. You said 9 and good on that. Shout out to Rob. Thank you for y'all patience. Hold on, let me make sure we don't have a skip. Good. All right, we're still in 1 minute mode, trying to go as fast as we can. Okay, I can go past that. I love when we can go past a record. Plex, you should be up next. But again, we are in 1 minute mode. So, good luck. Yeah. All right. Oh, wait. I forgot. I gotta give away a skip, right? Question. Dun, 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 I'm trying to think of one without giving you guys the choice of picking. Kind of want to describe a movie and then see if you guys can guess what it is. Nope, that's too much. Nope. I think I've done that before. Someone's gonna know that. How about this? Name a video game franchise that has had more than 4 movies made from its IP. Name a video game franchise that has had more than 4 movies made via Hollywood from its IP. 4? I don't know about that. I've seen 2 from that. Can't tell you what it was. Rob had said Mario or whatnot. They made 1. Second one hasn't come out yet, so it doesn't count. The first one was live action in terms of Mario. Rob got it right. He said Resident Evil. That was what I was thinking.
Appreciate y'all. And then what did you say? You
said, was that an AI song and so that? Yes, sir. Also, Fortnite hasn't been made into a thing yet. But Resident Evil is correct because they've had, Resident Evil has had CGI movies. They've had live action movies. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's an anime somewhere out there or whatnot. But they've been very vast with what they had. Not my favorite video game franchise per se in terms of the movies. I love them for the games. For the movies, CGI ones were better, right? Silent Hill, I feel like did a better job at doing an adaptation between the game and the movie. And what do we look for when it comes to what makes a good video game adaptation, right? For me, I need to see a lot of scenes from the game. You can take it in a new direction if you want, but I need people to feel like, if they haven't played the games at all, where they can get a good representation of what that game is about. And I never feel like the Resident Evil movies did that in the right way, right? Alice wasn't even a character from the game. So you had this main character who we were following around, and then she was like just total badass. And I'm like, in the games, we don't always feel like a total badass. We're like running from zombie dogs and all that. It's supposed to be horror with like, it's like 90% horror, 10% action, right? And maybe you can say 20% action and like 80%. But I feel like the CGI movies got the feeling and the vibe of the games better. When it came to Silent Hill, they got the movie like they had shots from the game. They had the guy who did the soundtrack for the games come back and do the soundtracks for the movie. Like they took the initiative to make sure that the fans were going to be happy there. The Last of Us as a TV show, I felt like they did a decent job. First season was chef's kiss. I think we liked it. I think the only thing that people really have a true critique with is they wanted somebody else to play Ellie, the little girl, right? And there are people who look the part and all this, and I can get that. But in terms of the environments, the soundtrack, the story, they pretty much did that one-to-one. You feel like if you haven't played the games, like you can at least know what the story is about, the world that they live in, the music, like it's there. So Rob, we got you. Let me throw you in after this.
Say something you know I'm listening to. Boy, I gotta get close to the internet. Felt love for them, keep sitting there. Twist your words, I guess I'm stupid. Chasing after old hoes. I miss the so close. Dangerous like oh no. A sideways old show. Pressure don't give up, no giving in. Turns quick when you feel like giving in. Chase a coupe, but you can't sit in it. Am I messed up for mentioning? Chasing after old hoes. Just let your soul glow.
You gotta remember not to do it again.
So close, a sideways old show. Fresh fit, can't sit, can't fit in it. Post pics, post up, just didn't hit. Too slow, can't visit it. Can't keep up, keep pace, just listening. I miss my old hoes. I miss my old clothes. Taking after old bros. A sideways old show. Just run, don't know how to love me. Fantasize about you, just be under me. Storm too close, got rain, need a canopy. Go hill up till then, don't miss you.
That's 1 minute right there. 1 minute on the clock, right? It felt like it was starting to get somewhere, right? Like as it started progressing, my hope for like more of the song is that it eventually gets to like a heavy metal kind of situation, right? Starting off in something of an alternative, you know, kind of just acoustic guitar kind of situation. And then suddenly, you know what I'm saying? Like when you have the aggression and the electric guitar and just things come in, I'm saying, if you know what I'm talking about, you'll, you know, hopefully try to build things there. Unless you want the whole record to be more of a, you know, straight up acoustic. That's fine too. That's fine too. But I feel like in your genre, like you guys have that creativity to work with a lot of it. What do you say? It's got like 3 Bones old, or it's got like a Bones old SB vibe. I see the vision, you know, vibes there. I agree 100%. You know, you started to want to sing along with it. So that's got my odos. They got my odos. Shout out to you guys on the YouTube side. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm acknowledging. Carrie G1 was good. He's like Mario. Yeah, Resident Evil, man. Resident mother effing evil, man. What's your guys' second pick for no, you know what? What's your top 3 video game movies, if you have one at all? Okay, top 3. I'll give you mine. Silent Hill. Part of me wants to try to put maybe Detective Pikachu up there somewhat, right? The Mario one, I liked the one back in the day too. As bad as it technically was, I like the one back in the day. I also like the CGI one that they did. Sonic, while they're not my favorite films, I don't dislike them. Like, I feel like they get Sonic right. Like, the way he looks, the way he talks, the way, you know, he sounds. Tails, Knuckles is probably a little bit different because Idris Elba, you know, plays him. And I feel like, you know, we'll see how that goes over time. Anyways, let me get that one from Rob up. Am I missing one? I'm trying to think of something else. Silent Hill I did want to throw in there though for sure. Okay, let's get this in. He said, "Damn, you've been going hard today. How long have we been live? Let me see. Oh, we had to restart the freaking stream at some point too, so that's not even gonna tell me the full amount. I have to go look at my other stream. I think we were live for like 4 hours before it like had cut off, and then I came back. So it's one of those. All right, so we got Rob's. We're not gonna put that 1 minute counter on because it's technically a skip.
Woke up early as fuck today.
B-movie game.
Gotta make a little freestyle, you know, a little song.
Silent Hill.
Yeah.
SpongeBob movie game.
Until this, you know, little project come out. I got it coming out here soon.
He went opposite.
Pay, in my pocket, bitch, I'm feeling great. Pay, in my pocket, bitch, I'm feeling great.
I can't lie, I want a high life. I can't lie, I wanna get high.
Yeah, fly like Peter Pan, fly like Neverland. Yeah, high up in the sky, think I'll never land. Yeah, flying through the sky, I think I see Japan. Yeah, flying through the sky, I feel like Superman. Drugs make me feel like the man. Like no SpongeBob, I'm the real dirty Dan. Geek, do my dance. Yo, bitch, geek, but buckle my pants. Stepping on the peons, yeah, just stepping on them just like they are some ants. Sliding like that, oh shit, boy, you ain't even moving like Ant-Man. Shit, your name should be Ant-Man. Cause you ain't on shit, man. Pay, in my pocket, bitch, I'm feeling great. Sipping on some great wine with some fucking fine shit. Pay, in my pocket, bitch, I'm feeling great. Pay, in my pocket, bitch, I'm feeling great. Pay, in my pocket, bitch, I'm feeling great. Paper in my pocket, I'm feeling great. I'm rolling up gas, it tastes like grapes. I know I'm high already, but I'm already smoking it, yeah, just for the taste.
I'm so important.
The average will think it was late.
I'm so important.
Take a 3-5, yeah, right to the face.
I'm so important.
Pay, in my pocket, bitch, I'm feeling great. Pay, in my pocket, bitch, I'm feeling great. Pay, in my pocket, bitch, I'm feeling great.
I can't lie, I want a high life. I can't lie, I wanna get high. I can't lie, I wanna get high. I can't lie, I want a high life.
Oh, Red Dead Redemption.
I can't lie, I wanna get high. I can't lie, I wanna get high. I can't lie, I wanna get high. I can't lie, I wanna get high.
You just doing anything. All right, so I feel like there's a little bit of a half and half here, right? Because there are, like, I appreciate the energy, right? Anytime an artist is willing to go in with a few different melodies, that's what I look for, right? When you can have the higher tones and the lower tones, and sometimes if you're smart enough, you'll have harmonization and things like that. I feel like some of you guys miss out on those elements. You may not know what or where to add them. Timing is always going to be important. Like at the end when you were doing that sort of, you know, chopping it up and bringing it back a little bit, it started to go off beat, right? The whole thing with certain things like that is that it's supposed to be on time. It has to feel like there's somebody that's skilled behind that DJ sort of chopping, screwing, and you know, kind of bringing back kind of sound. There are elements here that work, and then other ones that might be all over the place, right? Now, you did title it like it's a freestyle, and so whether it's off top, I mean, I don't necessarily count. Okay. I don't count, like, if you, the moment you punch in, it's no longer freestyle. That's the way I look at it, right? Because you have a small amount of time, a window of something else that you can say. A true freestyle, I think, is always going to be completely off top. How far can you actually go before you fall off type shit? And you have to make sense. It has to be dope. It can't be you just doing or saying whatever. Then there's the aspect of a written freestyle, which, you know, some people don't get the actual concept of, because they're like, well, how can it be freestyle if it's written? What it is you basically writing so much that at the drop of a hat, if someone tells you to rap, or you tell them that you rap, and then they say bet, like bust a flow or something, then you have something that you can pull out to just drop on them, and then you never spit it again. You have to be that good to where you like, all right, you know what? If I let this off on this interview or cipher that I'm in right now, then you cannot spit that same verse anywhere else. You have to let it live in that situation. That is how you become the best. And if you don't believe me on why you should do that versus anything else, just look at the video that there is out there of the game. You guys know he spit the white rose or red rose white ceiling, right? Like he always has had that like freestyle that he would say, and he had did it so many times that someone made a video of the compilation of just him doing it so many different places. There was places where it was supposedly a freestyle, and then he basically spit that same verse. Then he was like, you know, walking by a line of people who were about to watch him or somebody else perform, and then they asked him to freestyle, and he spit that same thing. And then there was another concert that he was on stage, and he spit that same verse. And then there was, you know, it became a little bit of a meme after a while because it just felt like that was all he had. And like, you know, so many artists who are prolific with just so many things that they gotta remember. And I feel like the best trained artist, if you want my true opinion, man, the best trained artists on the planet are like battle rappers, because they basically, they don't have, like they can rap to a beat if they want, but often it's not how they're actually doing the battles, right? It's a cappella. It's like, I gotta remember this, I gotta remember this rhyme scheme, everything, all of the information, you know, about your opponent, and you gotta have rebuttals if they say something specific and stuff, right? So knowing how to pull certain things, and sometimes even being good enough to like, let me switch the locations of where I place this rhyme and that one, and like some people's brains just like work to the best ability. But I feel like, yeah, there's more work in there that needs to be done. He said rapping that the same verse 3 times. Yeah, a couple of battle rappers, you know, have done that, and then rapping the same verse, man. Listen, that's why you want people to basically believe that, you know, you could write 5 songs now, go to the bathroom, come back, and write 5 more songs, right? Like you're that good where you can just keep things coming out the woodwork and show that talent. Said I'll get there eventually, you know what I'm saying? Just start today. Nah, it's all good, man. It's all good. What'd you say? So your email and you're 100% correct. LOL. Zap, yeah. Would you say a couple of battle rappers? Oh yeah, we already read that. My bad. My bad. What up, Barefoot?
He said there's a difference between a freestyle
and off top, right? So I mean that's what I was basically explaining, right? So there's the written ones and then there's completely off top. Now here's another difference though. I feel like completely off top never makes the best song, right? If you're going completely off top, often you're saying random things. You don't always have the ability to get in there and make a chorus and make sure that what you're saying is cohesive, so everything is kind of disjointed and it's just like, okay, let me see again if I can rhyme things without falling off. Hopefully they make sense. Some people are really good at it, some people need a little bit more work to still be able to have that structure. But the off top, man, like I feel like it's off top should be preserved for live performances, for any situation where you are in the vicinity of the person, y'all throw a beat on and y'all just like messing around and stuff like that, right? Because that's what you're doing with those kind of freestyles. However, any other situation, if you have the chance to record, I feel like you should be in song mode. You should really think about a concept. What does the beat make you think about? Sit down, write a list of that shit, and then try to compile the best song based on all of the elements that you're able to bring to the table. Obviously deciding whether or not you want something to be more melodic or you just to be straight rapping. I don't think people mind when an artist has the sort of, you know, the written ones or whatnot, because it's you showing that you are a professional, right? When Token literally first did his, I don't know if it was the 5 Fingers of Death or whatnot, but there was a time where he went up to Sway in the Morning and he basically rapped for almost 10-15 minutes, like, and what he said was that he came prepared. He wanted to make sure that if he had this opportunity that he did not drop the ball, and so he practiced and practiced and practiced, and it felt like he could have went on and he was just still going, but it looked like he came prepared too. Like his energy is on point, his confidence was there. Nobody knew like really who he was just yet. And even the dude who was supposed to go after him, you could just tell he didn't want to rap after that. He's like, man, ain't no way I'm gonna be able to top this. Like he coming with it. But it reminded you of just like the professionalism that we all need as artists. When we get out there and then we want to show people we rap, like you don't just want to do anything. You want to truly show them what your skills are made of. And if you're in that moment when you're messing around, like that is what it is. But how do you become the best without trying to actually be, right?
It's a real shit.
I don't know what that sound was.
These bum ass niggas.
Lemon.
I'm in the club with your hoe, these little hoe poppin' titties. Niggas steady watching what G doing, these niggas super ditty. I'm super litty. Pull up in a brand new coupe, I'm super drifting. Coupe ain't got no roof, I push the gas, this little hoe super lifting. Out the seat, she tryna fuck with G. Young nigga ballin', I'm shoot from the 3. Every way stumpin', man, shout out the creep. If you wanna feed, it's 500 a G. Go ahead, slide that money, sound G. Just know niggas ain't fuckin' with me. She saying she hungry, I gave her the D. I'm feeling like Cali, cause I got the key. It's Superman, no super G. Just know you ain't fly as me. Walk in the club, my VIP, get whatever you like TIP. Touch my neck, you on DIE. Can't cuff no hoe, that's just how it be. Can't cuff no hoe, they ain't fucking with T, nigga.
Wow. Can't cuff no hoe, they ain't fucking with T, nigga. Slime right down, gotta check me a bag. Don't play with it, I gon' catch him tag.
That's 1 minute, y'all. That's 1 minute right there. Alright. Now, once again, I want to remind people, the question you guys want to ask yourself in these 1 minute modes is basically by the end of that 1 minute, how did you feel? Did you feel like you wanted to cut it off before the 1 minutes were up? or did you feel bad that we weren't able to continue listening to it because the 1 minute were up? I felt like there was a little something there. Obviously, we have a lot of genres out here. Certain people are gonna rock with certain things. So there's a certain potential right in there. I don't think it's gonna catch everybody. There's probably a little bit more that's gonna be needed in terms of like energy, and you know, this does feel like something that would be dope if it was a posse track, like you and like 4 other, you know, homies kind of going back and forth every like 4 to 8 bars or something like that. I feel like there could be something there, but it feels like it would be more or less, you know, short nonetheless. A little bit more work will bring it to its knees. So what's good? You know what I'm saying? RX the rapper in the building, man. What's freaking good?
You said it was different. Optic never said, man. Oh, Optic Nerve, my bad. Optic Nerve. In RSA. What does the RSA stand for? Dr. Carla, what's good? Hold on, let me go up here.
Yeah, I already said that. What else? Oh, last thing I was gonna say as well was just to tackle back onto the last thing we were talking about, right? The reason why I mentioned the token 16-minute kind of, you know, situation was because it's impressive to see someone memorize their own shit. You guys know that, like, it's hard to learn someone else's song, let alone your own, when you're really trying to get in there and do the performances. So for every battle, for every freestyle, even if it's written, we still appreciate you being able to remember your lines. And if you're smart enough, like I said, to not spit it again somewhere else, you get to, you know, really look good and have that freestyle, quote unquote, be isolated. And again, you got to play one of the 2 games. Either you always go off top and your thing is like Harry Mack, where his thing is like, let me get the words from you so you can see I'm 100% freestyling and I'm going to be on point. I'm going to try to rhyme things proper, make sense. On top of that, I'm going to rap about the conversation that we had before and where we're at. I'm going to talk about what you have on, and, you know, we'll end it at that. I still never feel like those make the best songs because we have to see what he's talking about in order to appreciate you know, the visuals. So we're always in and out of that. Let me see what we got next. Thank y'all for y'all patience. We trying to go. Then we got a video, me and my girlfriend. Is that just you saying? Is this actually just you and your girlfriend, or are you saying the song is called Me and My Girlfriend? Bring, 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 bring. We only read the lineup for the skip line, but we are in the free line right now, plus the 1 minute line. So probably not gonna have enough time to hear your girl either. Ten seconds. Well, there we go. That is let me take it out. That was 1 minute right there. Once again, we are in 1 minute mode. Only if we're in the free line right now. And so we want to make sure that we get you guys hopefully played a little bit faster. like this. Skips though will allow us to play the full version of your song and then review that as well, but it is not mandatory. What I would say is that I can only assume. Well, we didn't really get to hear what your girl sound like, so we can't judge it in full. I can just say, you know, sounds like a song within its genre, right? It's trap centric. You got in there with higher tones. There will be people who probably say, you know, use less auto-tune and all this good stuff. Everybody is always in a different place. I like the visuals that we were seeing so far, and it did make me want to hear more of the record a little bit. You know, I'm even more just curious on, you know, on what your girls sound like as well. Potentially, like if she raps or she sings. So we'll have to see if we can get you to send that one in tomorrow, and then see if we can come back to it and then finish off and see what's up. The only time we'll jump into these 1 minute modes is when it gets a little bit later into our streams. So if it hits like, you know, 11, 12, there's still a lot of submissions to go. Honestly, it is the only way I can get a lot of you guys in and out the door a little bit faster. But also, you know, you got something, man. What did you guys think about that? How did you guys feel about the mix on that? Did it feel like it was dope enough to warrant a music video, or did you need something else to actually appreciate that? Furthermore, are you guys curious on what his girl might have sounded like? Right, we got mobbing like a mobster.
Oh, fam in the lobby. Oh, fam on the roster. Oh, fam really mobbing. Mobbing like a mobster. My family mobbing like a mobster. Whole house, he no imposter. Chain on swing, but the bond stay stronger. My family mobbing like a mobster. Mobbing like a monster, mobbing like a monster, mobbing like a mobster. Present don't go, no talk, no gossip. Uncle in the kitchen, rich doing CrossFit. Mama hold it down, real calm, real toxic. Turn a small payday to a stock for profit. Yeah, money in the mattress, yeah, money in the locker. Kids in the backseat, snacks in the shopper, Sunday at the table, prayed and prosper, love stay heavy, heart built copper. My family mobbing like a mobster. Whole house he no imposter. Chain on swing, but the bond stay stronger. My family mobbing like a mobster. Mobbing like a mobster.
I done forgot. Hey, I think I forgot to pull up the timer, you know, for it. Yeah, but you know what that means, man. I have to now give someone in the chat a free skip. Essentially, overall though, like to review the record, I thought that it had some it felt like something that could be out there or whatnot when we're looking for potential you know, hit records and things that people can sing along with and hear. Like, it feels like one of those, right? However, we're right back in that same conversation of certain elements that we may hear in the vocals that may make it feel like it's you know, AI and stuff like that, right? And we don't ever mean any disrespect when it comes to us having to have those conversations. But we do want you guys to know that we want as many real elements as possible. We want the beat to be real. We want someone to have made it, so we can be like, yo, who made that, and want to work with them as well on a new song. If it's an artist, we want that same thing. We want to be able to go and see, oh man, I hope they go perform that. What if we are in it? What if we're a venue, man, and we like, yo, I need him to come perform to the whatever the case, right? if they're not real though, like you just like shut down that person's dreams. You shut down your ability as just the creator to really make money, because what else are you gonna do? It's like if your idea after that point is to like, well, let me just pretend to be the artist. Then you might as well have just been the artist in the first place. And if you're gonna get somebody else to pretend to be the artist, same shit. You might as well have just wrote for a person and built them into an artist or whatever you can do. Overall, like, at the end of the day, what I truly want every artist, producer, and writer to think about is, with the amount of work that you do creating the song, really ask yourself, do I deserve to be paid for what I just did? If anything feels like it was way too easy, you took 30 seconds and did something, and now there's this whole thing, like, that's the way that a lot of people feel. They don't feel like there's enough work, or at least they're not able to see it. Because you could, let me sing the vocals and then put it on there, and then it can change the voice to sound like another artist or whatever. Like, just your ideas, it'll help bring it to life. Our thing is, I don't think we want to feel like people needed any kind of help. We just want to hear the pure talent. And if you write and you want to work with an artist, like, we would love to see that entire kind of like session visually, right? To see you guys really performing, coming up with the song, struggling on what you want the chorus to be at first, and then figuring that out, playing the piano or whatever instrument, and really just showing people that creativity. That's all I'm saying, right? And then I think when it comes to most artists, we do want a real person to relate to be like, man, I feel the conviction in your voice. I love the story that you're telling. And like, when it comes to an interview, what do we even ask, right? Outside of like, so what does this record mean to you? Why did you make it? What is the answer to that question? For most AI creators, it's going to be a very small answer, because some of them, they just think about one or two things, give or take, type it in, pick the artist that they want, type of genre, as detailed as possible, but it won't be a lot. Then there are those that'll put in all the lyrics, and so it will compile that. Some people will put poems and stuff, but like, that's what makes it not as dope. If I can basically just put every poem that I wrote in like middle school and high school and like in ever, and then suddenly turn that into a song, I feel like that's cheating. There's no work involved in that. I should not get paid for it. Yeah, as easy as it is, but like, it's the same thing as like when you have a just conveyor belt of items of the same thing, right? It's just being replicated over and over and over again by the company, right? But the original version was handmade by the person. They literally sat there, painted the thing, put it together with their hands, shaped the, you know what I mean? Like, think about it like that. Like, when you really get in there and make music and you try to do everything yourself, that's the equivalent. It's you really doing the strokes, getting the paint, mixing the colors together to make the color that you need. And then by the end of the day, you have something that looks 3D and that someone would buy for hundreds upon hundreds of dollars. Meanwhile, you have someone right next to you that's doing AI, and they just type in and describe what you just painted, and then they do it in 5 seconds. That's not as impressive. We barely want to pay, more than like $50, give or take, for something that is like that, right? So that's all. We appreciate real artists, and at the end of the day, as long as you're able to you know, you can get your ideas, you know, sometimes you get writer's block. I get it. But what I love to do when I have writer's block is move on to another beat. I move on to another beat that I do feel, make a song with that, and then go back to the one that I had writer's block with. Almost every time, easily a song just comes out after that because I now have new ideas. I'm excited about the last song that I did. There's just an aura that allows me to pull 3 or 4 more records, you know, out or whatnot. That's why I love when I do like another feature, because I'm able to just knock out like 2 or 3 like at the same time and you know, have fun with it. All right, so let me see. What did I say I was gonna do? I said I was gonna give away another damn skip, right? Because I'm over here talking my ass off. I didn't know what question I wanted to freaking ask. I did at first, and then I had forgot it. Here's something easy, maybe, give or take. Who is the equivalent? Who is the equivalent to Darkseid? If DC has Darkseid, who is the equivalent to that in the Marvel universe? Who's your Darkseid versus this person? Would be just like a sick battle right there. So let me see what the people say. You got it. Reaganomics. Well. I was seeking Thanos. You gotta send your record though. You gotta send one now.
Thanos is indeed. T was like, pause. Yo. Holy Paradox.
Like, are we talking about my song? I don't know. Bottom up. Now we were talking about yours when we were in here.
I'm mobbing like a mobster. Whole house he know imposter. Chain on swing, but the monster.
Yeah, we were talking about. I think we were. That was the AI conversation though. And again, I always want to reiterate because sometimes it's a beat replacement, it's a mix and master thing, or it's an AI artist situation, right? And if it's neither of those, you guys do have to be aware that there are certain sounds that come with certain effects that may make what you're doing sound like AI, so people will mistake it for it. However, you know, if it is AI, like we always have that conversation of just like reminding you how much we appreciate real artistry and wanting to see real performances. Like I feel like it's because a certain portion of the AI creator community, they don't see the side that is absent of the artist, right? Like when you assume at times, like we're just gonna be able to connect with a record that has an artist that might not be real, but it has your ideas, right? You may be writing it, you have the idea, and you're, you know, putting it out there in a way. And we do want you to be able to get your ideas out there. However, when there's a lot of help, and then it also seems like everyone's trying to bypass the next person. I always end this conversation with like, where will we be if the artist says F the producer, I'm just gonna use AI? If the producer says F the artist, I'm gonna use AI, and the writer also says F the producer and the artist, I'm just gonna use AI, right? It's the best place I can end these conversations on because you guys get it. And you're like, oh crap, like none of us are gonna be making money, at least in the upfront terms of you know what we rely on while we're still waiting for royalties, right? Because royalties take a long time to come in, so we have to do a lot of the upfront, like, hey, you know, $60, maybe $100, maybe $200, depending on what people are doing and how active they are as an artist. Overall, like you know what's up. So hold on, let me put this in since you won our skip.
I'm floating in the air, drifting all alone in a zone and I don't care. Please leave me alone, everybody leave me there, cause I'm high.
No doubt, no doubt.
Oh man, I wanted to wake up freaking one day, but I got up out of my bed and couldn't cause I had small hands. And the time when I freaking chilled at the mall and I had to go and buy something, I didn't have no freaking money, so I couldn't buy nothing. And every time on Halloween when I had to go smash pumpkins, I always freaking tried to say that I didn't know if I'm fronting, but listen.
Jump in the job on shore, feet in a kick down door.
Appreciate you.
No middle shelf. Problems will find you by yourself. Or any line, you gotta be in the trap. No pause, can't have that.
No, I'm not.
Solving the causing only by the way you act.
So I'm gonna get tired of these songs, man. Listen, you underestimate.
No equal rights, so we make equal wrong. Your kind of wool becomes thicker. Rather be upright than disfigure. Odds will find. No need to look so fuck across. Have a one, gotta be a drive. Snitch, can I die? Problems, solving the causes by the way you act. What you do? Never know what you doing. Shaky hands can't pour in and all. Pour nothing I can't afford, and I ain't that Lord. So I judge from conception, gotta be in the trap. And if you snitch, can't have that. Death will find you ever. If you're solving the causing by the way you act.
It don't matter.
No equal rights, so we make equal wrong.
That was interesting. I like this one because it sounds very indie, right? Like just something that we would see in a kind of, I don't want to say like a college film or whatnot, but I think the things that they would play at, like, you know, Sundance or the art house kind of, you know, films, or just, you know, a moment, okay, like Lost in Translation, right, for example, right? If you've seen that one with Bill Murray, movies like that where it's moments, and, you know, the characters thinking and then, you know, experiencing life and just going through stuff. You've seen certain things from Will Ferrell that were even like that. We'll say Steve Carell, and Paul Rudd, right? You know what I mean? Like you hear this in just, you know, a scene where it could be the intro to the film where main character is just kind of like driving somewhere, right? Maybe it's raining outside a little bit. They're driving. You see them driving in the car. You see the car from different angles, you know, their face, and every like 5 seconds or so, it goes in and out of like the opening credits. And so you'll see it's a written by so and so, and then it goes back to, you know, them driving, and then vice versa. And you hear that song. By the end of the song, you know, the movie essentially, you know, starts from there. But through the trip and the intro, you sort of learn a few things, right? Like I love just the different things that we will see from media out there. When you are at least a movie buff, you notice so many things. You appreciate the extras. You appreciate the directors, the writers, the producers, like all aspects of the film that, you know, man, it must have taken a lot to do that. Suspending disbelief and, you know, not having things feel like we know how certain things are done. We know like CGI is a thing, but if you can make us not know where the CGI, you know, comes in and sort of, you know, takes over in completion, like there's always going to be something dope within there. But you know, I appreciate that you getting in there and doing your thing for sure. Okie dokie. Yeah, Dixie Love.
Pop me a pill, I'm out of my mind. Fuck the hit, I just stay on my grind. If it meant the money, gon' make them all blind. Don't talk on the net, I don't got the time. They only show love when you're not alive. I know that you lying, you can tell by your eyes. I told you already, this love got no price. Man, stop talking, I don't need your advice. Look, they didn't believe I said I'm gon' blow. People get fake and they act like a show. Don't dab me up, cause I'm not your bro. I had to work, I was sick of the snow. Matter of fact, I was sick of the storm.
If you sit right, you'll be in the lineup.
Counting on you, they didn't pick up the phone. All that I go through, I put on these songs. Stop calling my phone, I said it was over. Step said he got weight on my shoulder. Don't step on that code, my team for the shooters. Folks breaking down, no, they raising the soldiers. Stop calling my phone, I focus on business. Sort up on us, get to so witness. Looking at me, cause I really did this. Hitting on me, so don't ask for forgiveness. I'm gon' shoot. Sometimes you act the way I fuck up the
Why does it say a whole different time on the thing or whatnot than what I had on this? All right, we had 1 minute on that. Honestly, it felt decent. Didn't really feel like there was, you know, something in there that made me extensively want to get the hell out of it. Again, if people didn't know,
1 minute mode has been activated as requested, Mr. Dorky Sir.
we are indeed back in 1 minute mode, so we are getting within there. But what I did like about that is, again, you got an acoustic guitar. Anytime you guys have that, you know, even if it's in the beat, I'm telling you, perform the song live with someone playing the acoustic guitar exactly as they are right now, right? Like, but don't bring any drums and all that. Just have it be something more intimate and chill, and just do the same song that you're doing now, right? You can even change the tempo if you want, but
pop me a pill, I'm out of my mind. Fuck the hit, I just stay on my grind. If it meant the money, gon' make them all blind. Don't talk on the net, I don't got the time. They only show love when you're not alive. I know that you lying, you can tell by your eyes. I told you already, this love got no price. Man, stop talking, I don't need your.
anyways, you have to send to my email. It's thatdorkyreviewshow@gmail.com, sir. Let me see. But yeah, not bad overall with the record and performance. Back in the line up again. Let me make sure that, okay, so we already played yours and yours. So let me make sure we put red on that. Right. Let's see what we got here. We're still in 1 minute mode right now. Anything that is not a skip, we're gonna put into the 1 minute gauntlet of.
It's a sad, sad one we was living in.
You said this song is about the relationship between my family and my daughter.
Sad times, sad times, sad times. Fuck. It's so sad that I pick up my phone just to call you, don't answer.
Wait, did we?
Correctly faulted me for having no manners. Should be thanking the Lord even with all my struggles was never a dancer. My whole life changed the moment I knew
I feel like we.
I had her. But
oh yeah, we did.
Want to take her away from me.
Hold on. I think we had, cause best for who, right? Hold on. Cause I was like, wasn't this that one song? Hold on. Yeah. We had it, and it was because I guess you said anyway. So we had that. I mean, I already had basically reviewed that one. I said, you know, it was a you know, amazing song. It just needed to be mixed and mastered. But the vocals and the performance was dope. And I didn't read the context until now or whatnot. So that throws a different sort of like dope layer into it, because she has said it is a basically almost a conversation between her mom and daughter. And honestly, I like the concept of just going in there trying to you know, have a little bit of a one-sided like assessment of everything and whatnot. There's something there, man. Now if your mama and your daughter can sing, like there's something there. There's definitely something there that if they get on it as well, and you know, we get to hear something that would be interesting. All right, back in the line. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Another time, another year.
This ain't no love song, but it's all I got. I remember I was struggling, all I had was a Glock. I done changed my whole lifestyle to buy you these jewels. And I know that they hate, but hate don't make no pay. Done ran up all this money, I won't fall off no more. All she care about was Dior, I told her care about me more. They don't want me out here breathing, cause they know I'm about to go up. Ain't enough, I need a car to let the doors off.
30 seconds.
Alone, I had to get my mind right. I'm in the gym to like a rat, I had to get my body right. Record a song in a minute, had to get my voice right. Don't let them people tell you nothing, shawty, this is your life. Go live your life. I drop my problems in this red cup. They run their mouth, I'd rather run it up. My heart black, I done ran out of love. My day one try to snake me, don't know who to trust. This ain't no love song, but this all I got. I remember I was struggling.
You needing lots of cheese. So he's within like the same confines, man. Acoustic guitar, you know, kind of situation. He can get in there. There's good melodies, there's good energy within the record. You know, you have something that is dope. Now I want to remind you guys, right? Like while we have a lot of you guys who use auto-tune on your records, I want to remind you that if you can sing your record live, like for real, right? No auto-tune. That's how you're going to impress the people. You know why? Because that's what we did basically with T-Pain. The moment he was able to do a Tiny Desk and he showed us not only could he like legit sing, but he really can like play piano and stuff. Like, you know, it took the respect to a different level. Because before that, a lot of people were like, you know, really blaming him for killing half of the industry and just like making everybody kind of copy and go in this direction. But you realize that he does a lot more than most of the artists that try to, you know, mimic and copy him, right? He thinks about the harmonization. He is a writer and a producer and really does write really good songs in addition to, you know, just the performance. He's a humble person as well. When you watch his interviews, he's you know, funny. So overall, just really a down-to-earth person and whatnot that we can learn a little bit from as we, you know, progress down the line or whatnot. But these, you just got to be able to feel them, you know, as much as you can, and, you know, kind of go from there.
Probably you go from there and stuff. I really wanna tell y'all that you was so tough that when I freaking told y'all, I don't even really know.
All right, let me throw the next one in as we proceed. Trying to get through that free line so we can, you know, head out for the tonight. Let me check,
5 a.m. in the morning. I get up, I gotta go get to the blownie. Get that boy talking, but he no baloney. Nothing but fire, I put the bass in the trunk. I try to be a lacone. Give a fuck what they got going on. Niggas stiff in the bitch and I'm on.
What up, Tik-Tok, Tik-Tok?
I'ma kill it. Knocked out 10, I'm gone. Storm, bitch, King Kong. Nigga peeping and watching, the fuck do you want? Nigga line ain't saying I'm wrong. Top 10 big drum, I'm dropping a song. And I see that we don't get along. Talk shit till my stick evolve. Ay, it ain't low, fuck it up. I don't give a fuck. 223, boy, I'm blowing them up. Thought you was tough. I thought you was tough. I better not get touched. Give a fuck about blood. Not feel the scuff. I get the boom in this shit like Spud. Brick, stretching this shit like you buff.
all right, that's 1 minute right there. I feel like the beat actually was, you know, fairly decent, right? It's not gonna be something that everybody wants to get on. It's a little bit of a banger. There's still elements that do need to be polished when it comes to the mixing and mastering or whatnot. We do like when, you know, if auto-tune is used in more melodic songs, you know, we do like when there's a, you know, a delay, a reverb, if you will, that brings the vocals to a certain atmosphere. I feel like there might be a bit much on this one, or a type that doesn't mesh as well with the vocals, but I do see the potential. There is some repetition in certain places, and my recommendation to all, if not most artists, is every 2, 4, and 8 bars are great places to switch up, like wherever you're gonna flow or do something melodically to change up what people are going to perceive. In your mind, you have to think, all right, I want to have structure to this song, right? So I have a chorus that you always, you know, come back to for between, you know, verses. But when it comes to how you rap throughout the record, never be predictable. If after a certain amount of time people can tell where you're going to go, you know, we're basically beating you to the punch, and at a certain point, I think every listener taps out, and then they start just having a conversation. You know, whatever conversation they stopped at first because the song was good, and then all of a sudden, if they feel like they know where you're gonna go, it's like, hey man, so what you doing tomorrow, man? You know what I mean? The song is still on, and then you're like, no, wait, I got a good line right here. But like you lost them at that point, right? So repetition will, at least in my mind, kind of turn the listener off into the other side. Into the other side. All right, let's get back into the freelance once again as we proceed and continue. Welcome to everybody. If you can tap in on all ends or whatnot, shout out to everybody on the TikTok. We are on YouTube, Twitch, as you know. All right, Trey 8 Trig. And then what is this called? 6-pack. Let's see.
Hey! Do it for some reason, I ain't like these niggas. Now it's time to start the light on niggas. Lock and load, Mac 11, Calico 38. Ho, everybody masked up since you already know. Now we creeping to the spot where they think it's 6 at. All up in the 6 at. All up in the 6 at. All up in the 6 at.
My hands still swollen when I stop. Music owns around 12 years old. You know, I'm like a pistol where you're locked and low. It's easy, like following the yellow brick road. Only thing, you can't tap your hook 3 times to be home. That's what tuition, staring face to face with the chrome. And you don't pay attention to talking wild barber. That's why the slow going one ear and out the other. Way like a sumo with that 3-pound revolver in the streets. Sonny your son, Crony your stepfather. But granddaddy trick, that gun so big that thing holding the bullets we don't call a clip. Everybody's the target whenever I'm around for my next practice, bringing that iron to sky.
All right, so that was the 1 minute right there. Honestly, I don't know whether the quality was just... I don't know whether the quality was just bad on that one or if it was AI, and both of them, you know, both it being the quality and the fact that it was AI. I think there's some potential. It's you know, a nice like West Coast kind of feel. But I don't hear this right now in this moment on the radio just yet. I feel like a lot of things could have used a little bit more work, but quality is very important, right? I basically always lump everything into maybe one of 2 or 3, right? It's either going to be a mixtape level kind of record, which again, mixtapes are free. So if your songs may not have the best mix and maybe you're even rapping on industry records, like free, because you can't sell them anyways, right? And then when you get ready to release something on all platforms, right? Like the Spotify's, the iTunes and stuff, you don't want to dilute those platforms with just crappy. It's literally like us going and randomly putting our mixtape at a Target or wherever they might sell CDs, you know, near you and stuff like that. It doesn't belong there, because it's not the same quality and caliber. It's not proven just yet. And some people will do it anyways. They'll just kind of release their stuff on all platforms, not really care about the quality. And I'm telling you, you got to make sure that you know, you get more than that one-time listen for people, and the quality is going to make them listen, add it to their playlists, and want to share it. There are records that I've liked, but because of the mix, it didn't make me want to hear it more than that one time, right? And you kind of wait for hopefully another one, or if we're lucky, you guys go and re-record the record for the official album, right? We've seen that happen a few times where there's a mixtape version of the record and then an actual
I need help fixing my sink.
Full album version. And when we're able to see you guys make those adjustments, like it's dope for those that have been along for the ride on everything else. All right. We got Right.
You're so icy. Bitch.
With Dream.
My man just had a son. Tell your son don't get his bitch. I'm trying
50
to be
seconds.
A good uncle. Wash my hands, teach him to sit up. I know you heard about dude face, that bitch got bit up. Every time I bitch send me a place, that bitch got hit up. We got fully auto blicks, get hit with this, bet you won't get up. Put that fully to his whip, bitch, I'm on tip, I bet I flip you off the drink, immune system top tier, I don't catch hiccups. Bitch, you thought that you was coming over here and ain't need dick up. Fuck a 32, fuck a 27, we made them clicker. Put they mans up on the news, sent them to heaven, we made them bitches. Just seen a fully auto Drake on YouTube, I wanna get one. I told a bitch to bring a friend, she brought two, I wanna hit one. Get a drop, we gon' kill, nigga, you can't stand a chance. 600 shots on 4 wheels, nigga, you can't stand the van. Hitting this bop with my gun in my hand, cause I can't stand her legs up like I'm finna change her diaper, hit that pamper dance. After I pop another perk, I'm finna slam her friend. I get aggressive talking to the clerk, make sure that scanner scan. One more transaction out this bitch, I bet that I'll be dead. Hope I ain't risking it for nothing, if I get clipped, my nigga, I'll be damned.
Oh man. What y'all think about that? When attending, feedback is welcome. Alright, so I think we know the genre, we know the sound, and he fits most of the things I think that those that do like this genre look for within the context of the performance. But me, there's always things that I would improve about everything, man. And for a lot of you guys, man, I know, like there are just things that the new generation just like decided to like accept, right? One of those things being just artists punching in and coming up with the records. I feel like you guys don't sometimes realize that when we can hear you performing your song, that is when we are more impressed. So if there's a point system to how dope we perceive an artist as when we're listening to them, if we hear they are punching in with their record, that goes down a little bit, right? If we hear that they are actually performing it, where it seems like they're prepared, they knew every single word that they were going to say, thought of some dope shit. They didn't have to punch in because they're not just putting together the song as they go, which is often what we feel like you guys are doing, and in most cases it is the case. You kind of sit there, think about a few lines here and there, punch in, tell the engineer to, stop here, punch in there. And there's too many of that. I think we need to not hear an artist really except for between